Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little DIY Christmas tree decor video. So I found this wreath at Home Goods and absolutely fell in love with the look of it. This is what I'm going for in my home. I'm wanting to do sort of a rustic glam kind of a thing, and I really liked that it was more wintry than Christmas, and that way if you're wanting to go with something like that, you can keep it up through the new year, you can keep it up through January if you want. It's really, really versatile. I really wanted to keep the wreath the focal point of the porch, but of course I wanted to have a few more things as well to kind of accent and draw more attention to the wreath. So we went to Home Depot and I found these really inexpensive mini pre-lit Christmas trees for the front porch. There's nothing on them and they were really inexpensive. They were $29.99 and I thought they'd be perfect. I've got one on each side, but as you can see, they don't really go with the look of the wreath. So I wanted to do something to kind of tie it in together, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a little bit of flocking. I'm going to add some pine cones in and a few silver ornaments, and that's just going to help tie everything together. Alright you guys, so I wanted to give you a close look at the wreath. It didn't come pre-lit, so I did find some fairy lights to weave in and out, and it worked out so well. It helps so much that it can now be lit up, and they were super easy to put in here. They're battery operated, and I've just got the little battery pack tucked away behind some of the larger sprigs, and it stays put really well. I haven't found any issues with it falling out. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some flocking for the tree. I really like the snow accent and the white berries. I'm also going to be putting the pine cones and the silver ornaments on the tree to pull out those details in the wreath. So you can even save money on some of the decorations. These pine cones were collected by my kiddos. My mom and I sent them out to collect them. We had some trees around the yard. And these ornaments are super inexpensive. I got this pack from Walmart. It was, I believe, right around $4. Yeah, $3.48. You can see the price over there. And then I've got the Santa snow that I'm going to be spraying on the trees. This stuff is not great for you to breathe though, so you do want to use some masks. So I've got these little painter's masks to use as I'm doing that. And to attach everything today, the pine cones and the ornaments, I'm going to be using a small hot glue gun. That way, if I want to pull these off at a later time, they're easy to just grab and take off the tree. It's not a super strong hold, but it'll be strong enough to get us through these months. And then if I want to change up the look of it, I'm able to. For the placement of the pine cones, I tried to tuck them in as deep as I could, but also keeping them visible, and that way they were really secure. The glue does a really great job of adhering to the tree, but this way when they're tucked in, you don't have to worry about little ones pulling them off. As you can see, they are running around. We've got Grandma in town, and my mom was actually the one who came up with this idea to do this. I'm definitely not super creative and crafty, so she was the one that thought about getting these trees and being able to bring in this look. Like I said, these trees were from Home Depot and they were really easy to work with. They're actually really lightweight, which I found very useful. They're about 48 inches high, so I found it to be a really great height. It complemented the doorway really well as the size of the wreath. Once I had all the pine cones set, then I wanted to do the flocking, and that way the pine cones would have the snow look about them as well. So I've got it out in the yard, and I've never used the snow spray before. I've actually never flocked any sort of a tree before, but this stuff was really easy to use. You definitely don't want to be using it on a windy day. It will spray around quite a bit, but it stuck really well to the tree. It did dry pretty quickly. I did move the tree over to the porch because it had rained yesterday and the yard was still really wet, so my feet were getting pretty wet. I wanted to concentrate the snow around the pine cones for sure, but also in specific areas of the tree, and then sort of give it an overall look like maybe it had been through a snowstorm. I didn't want it to be just completely covered in snow and then, you know, they'd look completely white. I did want to leave a lot of greenery as well, so I was just trying to focus on certain areas, especially around the pine cones. The Santa snow spray did dry very fast, and that way I was able to get to placing the ornaments on pretty quickly, and that was pretty simple. It was the same technique that I had as far as the pine cones went, but I did want to set them out a little bit further so that they would pop and you'd be able to see them more. Just because they are silver against the white, they wouldn't stand out as much. So I brought them a little further out onto the branches. That is it for this look, you guys. Like I said, I love that I was able to use these trees as accent pieces to the wreath, which is what I was wanting to keep the focal point. These trees are just a blank slate. They were very, very inexpensive, and they're very versatile. With the hot glue, I can pull off the ornaments and the pine cones, and I could completely change the look of them next year if I want to change out the look of whatever I'm placing them with. So that was awesome. It's a very cost-effective way to go, just because you do have that versatility down the road to create any look that you're wanting to go with. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you are already a subscriber, I appreciate your support so, so much. If you're new to my channel, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing and joining me here on my channel. I do a lot of mommy videos, cleaning videos, and I'm starting to do more decor videos, so I'd love to have you a part of it. Thanks so much for watching.